Hey home buyers, if you're thinking of buying a home in Yorba Linda, you might want to grab a tissue box because you might need it by the end of this episode. Interest rates are still hovering in the mid sixes. However, home values inside Yorba Linda are on the rise again. So why is this happening? Will it last? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Josh Alexander, your local Yorba Linda real estate agent and host of Discover Yorba Linda, your one-stop shop for all things Yorba Linda. So if you live in Yorba Linda or are thinking about living in Yorba Linda, make sure you don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I put out new episodes every single week. So in today's episode, I'm going to be going over my May housing market forecast for Yorba Linda and what you should expect as both a buyer and a seller. So let's go ahead and get into it. During my last Yorba Linda market update in April, I told you there is a very good chance that based on all the open house traffic I was seeing, as well as how many homes are getting multiple offers, that home values most likely bottomed out or already bottomed out in the beginning of April. And over the last month, open houses have been even more packed, multiple offers are becoming even more commonplace, and the data is finally coming in showing that we have indeed seen home values go up over the last month and a half in Yorba Linda, and they're going to continue to do so as long as interest rates stay relatively stable. So in the month of April, I went back and crunched the numbers and looked at every home that was sold in April, and when I looked at that, 58% of all homes sold in Yorba Linda sold for at or above asking price. So when homes start selling more often at or above asking price than below asking price, there's a good chance that home values are on the rise. And if you look at the average days on market in Yorba Linda as well, it's gone all the way down to basically a month at this point. Now anything under 90 days is considered a seller's market, and right now we're at 30 days. So we are in a hot seller's market in Yorba Linda where there is just not enough inventory on the market to be able to satisfy the amount of demand out there. I'm working with multiple buyers right now that just cannot find the right home for them because there's just no inventory available in Yorba Linda right now. So until that fixes itself, which hint, it's not going to do anytime soon, you can expect home values to continue to go up because they're going to have multiple offers on more and more homes, and home values will continue to rise as we head through the month of May in Yorba Linda. So a new report that was just released by the California Association of Realtors showed that between the months of February and March throughout California, the median home value went up by 7.6%. And in Orange County, it went up by 7.9%. Now, if you look at this graph right up here, you can see the highlighted section is how much home values changed between February and March in different counties throughout Southern California. And you can see that in Orange County, we had some significant growth compared to the rest of the counties. And if you look at all the counties, pretty much everywhere except for LA County saw positive growth between February and March. Now, does this mean that all homes in Orange County just went up by 7.9% in 1 month? No, but it does mean that in general, we are starting to see prices increase throughout Orange County, and there's a couple of reasons for this. So the reason we saw such a big jump, in my opinion, from February to March is because if you remember in February, it was one of the only times that we've seen interest rates below 6%, at least for a few weeks, in months. So because interest rates were going down, we had a bunch of home buyers enter the market, get into escrow, and those homes closed in March. So that's why that March data is showing that we've had so much growth, is because we had a giant explosion of home buyers trying to take advantage of those lower interest rates. Now, should we expect to see home prices continue to go up? Well, based on what I'm seeing every single weekend with packed open houses and multiple offers, the last agent I just talked to yesterday had 18 offers on their property. You can expect to see home values continue to rise, and it's going to be extremely competitive, especially in the price ranges at 1.5 million and below right now. So why is this happening if interest rates are so high, affordability is so low right now? How are we seeing home prices start to go up again? Well, if you go again back to my April update, I expand on that in a little bit more detail. But basically all you need to know is that supply is way lower than demand right now. So right now in Orange County, we have around 2,100 homes on the market. Typically during this time of year, so the 3 years leading up to COVID, we were looking at an average of 6,000 homes on the market. So almost 200% more homes on the market during this time of year. Now, even though demand is also low, it's only about 63% lower than it normally is. And we're starting to see demand continue to grow while supply is really just having a hard time getting above that hump and getting any larger. over the last couple weeks, supply went up by about 1%, where demand grew by about 3%. So demand is continuing to grow faster than supply, and even though both are low, supply is way lower than demand right now, and that's causing these price increases because there's just not enough homes out there for the buyers trying to purchase properties right now. Now, are we back to that crazy hot housing market we saw during COVID? No, but surprisingly, we're not that far off. Right now, the average days on market in Orange County, so the time a seller puts their house on the market to when it goes into escrow, has been hovering right in the mid-30s. Now, typically, a seller's market is anything under 90 days. So when you're in the mid-30s, we are definitely in a hot seller's market. And again, the majority of price ranges under 1.5 million. So if you're thinking of buying or selling a house in Yorba Linda over the next month or two, what is my advice for you? Let's go ahead and start with buyers first. Well, on the buying side of things, you just need to expect a lot of competition. There are a lot of people looking for very few homes right now, which means that you need to have your pre-approval ready. If you don't already have that, stop what you're doing, talk to a lender. It's free because you really can't place an offer without one right now. Have that pre-approval ready, be able to have a game plan set up with your agent so you can see the home as quick as possible, because typically once the house goes on the market, after that weekend, you're going to have multiple offers on those homes. So if you're not part of that process, you're going to miss out on that home. So make sure you have that ready to go, and then make sure before you start looking for homes, you have that list of must-haves, so that way you can identify your home quickly and know that it's going to work for you, and that way you don't feel that buyer's remorse after you get into escrow and close on it, because it's going to meet that specific criteria that you have for your home. Now, if you're a buyer sitting on the sidelines right now thinking to yourself, I don't want to deal with this, I want to wait for interest rates to go down, I want to wait for inventory to go up a little bit so it's not so crazy, just know that there is no data showing right now that inventory is going to rise. And there are a lot of reasons for that. I've gone over that in the last couple of videos I did, so you can feel free to go back and check that out. But inventory is just not going to rise to a point where you're going to see home prices coming down anytime soon. They might flatten out for a little while, but going down at this point is going to be extremely difficult to do unless interest rates get above 7% sustainably. If you see interest rates above 7% for an entire month, then you might see the housing market slow down again. But right now, every single month that goes by, it's becoming more and more clear that we probably saw the highest interest rates that we were going to see last October, and they've been dropping ever since. So what is my advice for buyers during this month? Well, it's pretty much always the same thing. And my advice is, you're not a market speculator, you're not trying to flip a property. Most buyers are trying to buy a house for yourself, for your family, to live in for the long term. So if you're thinking of buying a home and you want to be there 5+ years, you need to talk to a lender. They're going to tell you what you can afford right now, and if that payment gets you into the neighborhood with the amenities you want, then now is always a good time to buy a home. If interest rates drop, you can always refinance later and get a lower monthly payment. And if interest rates do go up in the future, you know that you got a great deal on that loan and you have that set monthly payment that you don't have to worry about. So if you can afford to get into the home in the area you want right now, it's always a good time to start looking. Now, the one ray of hope that I will give for buyers is during the month of May, typically that is when we see the most amount of homes hit the market out of any other month during the year. So there is a good chance that hopefully inventory will go up at least a little bit, giving you some more options over the next couple weeks. However, that's not a given. If interest rates drop and demand goes up even higher, then inventory is just not going to get up. However, this month, because school's almost out, is the month that a lot of sellers place their house on the market. So make sure you have that pre-approval ready to go and you're able to pounce on any home that's going to be ideal for you and your family. So on the selling side of things, please just get your house on the market. Buyers are out there waiting for homes on the market. I'm working with 6 or 7 buyers right now that are just sitting there waiting for the right house to pop up so they can actually place an offer. There's just not enough inventory. So if you're thinking of selling your house, as long as you price that home correctly, you're going to have a lot of activity. You're going to most likely get multiple offers and be able to be a little bit more selective on which offer you choose. This is also an ideal month to get your house on the market if the kids are getting out of school in the next month or two, because you can get your house on the market, get it sold, and then find a new place to call home as the summer hits, and you can move your kids where it's not during the middle of the school year, which is why, again, most sellers tend to put their house on the market during the month of May to take advantage of that seasonality where their kids are getting out of school right as they're selling their house, so they can move to the new house, spend summer there, and then start up the new school year in the fall. Now, if you're still debating, is this a good time to buy, a good time to sell, and you want some actual personal advice to go over your situation specifically, feel free to get in contact with me and set up a discovery call. Takes about 30 minutes. I can answer any questions about the housing market you have. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the description below. It's in the link. If you're watching this on Instagram, it's in my bio. It's on Facebook. I'll put it in the comment section, but feel free to set up a time that works for you. I'd love to chat with you about the housing market to see if now would be a good time for you to buy or sell a home, or if you should wait a little bit longer based on your specific circumstances. And finally, as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because I put out new content like this at least once a week. So hit that subscribe button and feel free to share this with any family and friends that might find this useful as well. And until next week, stay healthy, stay happy, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye, everybody.